just losing my mind, that's all.
Hi, morning to all participants. We will start our webinar shortly. So just please stay calm while we wait for the others to be in. Assalamualaikum, good day and welcome everyone. Happy comeback from long weekend. So everybody can hear me? Can I have some feedback from all of you? Hello? Anyone who want to feedback me? Okay, I assume everybody can hear me. Before I start, I introduce myself first. My name is Farida, a GIS training and marketing executive, and will be as your host for today. We also have Miss Nurul as technical support. So thank you so much for those who attended our previous webinar last 2 weeks. Your attendance and time is highly appreciated. Welcome again for today's session. And also a warm welcome for the people who joined for the first time. Okay, so before we start, we would appreciate the cooperation from everyone to change their display name to their real name or first name. So we hope it could be done so we could address to you properly if you have the question later. So to those who really don't know how to do it, I will share the step, just a very simple step to follow. You can go to rename, you can go to participant icon and then go to your current registered name, then go to the 3 dots and select rename to change. So it's done after that. I also will share this step into the chat box. So maybe the others can refer to this chat box to change the name. Okay. We also would appreciate if you could put yourself on the mute mode. Just to ensure everything going smoothly during the presentation. Okay, for our topic today, actually the title is the QGIS interface, views and layers. Will be presented by our main speaker, Mr. Lias Mokrawi. Mr. Lias is a geospatial consultant at GIS Innovations Berhad. He has over 27 years experience in GIS consultancy with extensive experience in data manipulation, quality control, data analysis, data integration, ETL, desktop GIS, and GIS customization. He has worked across multiple industry in GIS implementation, and he is a certified in various GIS and ETL tools. To those who are not familiar with ETL acronym, actually it stands for extract, transform, and load, which are the techniques used for high-end data conversation, data migration, and also data integration. So for today's webinar, we will divide it into two sessions. The first 45 minutes is for our speaker to share his topic. And after that, we will conduct a Q&A session for the remaining 15 minutes. If you have any question, yes, please during the presentation, please type them into the chat box. We will address it during the Q&A. So both Bahasa and English are welcome. So don't be shy to ask our speaker. And then we hope you will enjoy the session with us today. So now with further ado, I will turn the time over to our speaker. Let us all welcome Mr. Lias Mokori.
Hey. Hi, thank you, Farida. Good morning, everybody. Is the sound okay?
Okay, yeah.
Good. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming for this session. We are going to talk more. We're going to be more specific this time and talk about QGIS, what you can do with QGIS. This is a very light introduction. Well, as you can see here on the slides at the bottom right, we have 44 slides, but I may or may not use them all. It's just that we're going to go I'm going to show more on the interface rather than showing you slides. I will go slowly. I hope that the explanation will be clear. This is very light, just for you to know what you can do with QGIS. Nothing very difficult. It's very basic. And as mentioned, this is part of our corporate QGIS training that we are providing, or we have been providing for a couple of years now. So we want to share with you the experience and also to share with you the capabilities of this product. Right. So let's start. Before we talk about QGIS, I want to talk about the Open Source Geospatial Foundation. So the OSGeo, as it is called, is a non-profit, non-governmental organization whose mission is to support and promote the collaborative development of open geospatial technologies and data. In our previous webinar, we have discussed about the OSGeo Live and how to OSGeo for W, for how to download and install the software from installers, and how to use the OSGeo Live. OSGeo Live is can say a CD or a DVD that is pre-installed with most of the open source geospatial software. I'm going to show you later just a little bit the products which are included, and I'm also going to show you QGIS, how it looks like on OSGeo Live and how it looks like on my Windows machine. I'm using Windows 10. OSGeo Live, it's very good if you want to test some products, if you want to look at capabilities of some software. And well, you can also install OSGeo Live on a machine. It does not take too much resources. So for starting up, for testing, for benchmarking as well, it's a very good thing to have. And it's very easy to install. It's not difficult. If you know how to install WinZip, you can install OSGeo Live. So OSGeo Live is basically Lubuntu, which is a light version of Ubuntu. Okay, so it's a Linux, and you would be able to upgrade that. You'll be able to upgrade the software automatically online whenever you need to. All right. So we don't have as many links as previously, so Farida may not be putting the links this time. We are going to put that on the recording page. We are going to send you an email to tell you where's the recording and so on. One thing is that we are just 99.9% ready this time because yesterday was an expected public holiday. I hope you all enjoyed your long weekend, and you are back to work on Tuesday morning. So let's continue. So why QGIS? Why QGIS? Why do we talk about QGIS? Firstly, QGIS is free, all right? But if QGIS was free and QGIS was not good, there's no point to install it and no point to have it in your organization to run. QGIS is free. It's a very good product, and it is really, you can have as many licenses installed on your machines. So for example, if you have 100 people at your office who are supposed to do just digitizing, then QGIS is a good tool because it's free and it gives you good results. Let's say if it's just for that. For example, if you want to update attributes, we are going to talk about attributes later. I assumed that you know what is, or you knew what was attributes, but I would say that, okay, we don't know what is attributes. We are going to talk about that later. So it is free, as in free lunch. Installing and using QGIS program costs you a grand total of zero money, 0 ringgit. No initial fee, no recurrent fees, nothing. All right, so it's free as liberty. If you need extra functionalities in QGIS, you can do more than just hope. It will be included in the next release. So you can always make requests of new functionalities, but you have a lot of functionalities existing now if you want to do geospatial processing. It's constantly being developed because anyone can add new features. I'm going to show you an example of a plugin. A plugin is additional product that you can add on to QGIS, which is developed by other people. Let's say they develop something for their own, and they just want to, pardon me, I need to remove something. That's why I don't like to do webinars just after a public holiday or the weekend. All right. So you can add plugins, and you can just use the plugins. It's free. You can download, update them, and so on. I'm going to show that later. Extensive help, documentation, tutorials, training, a lot of videos on the internet. You can find a lot on YouTube. What else? It's cross-platform, all right? Cross-platform, you can use it on Mac OS, you can use it on Windows, and of course in Linux, right? Just a bit of historical information about QGIS. This is a copy-paste from Wikipedia. So I've put here the link, sorry. I've put the link here, which will be shared later on. I extracted a few points, a few interesting points. So first, who started up the project? Gary Sherman began development of quantum GIS in early 2002. And it became an incubator project of the open source Geospatial Foundation. That's why I wanted to talk about the Geospatial Foundation in 2005. So version 1 was released in January 200. That's very bad. That is, I think, 2009. Let me just double check, sorry. The first release, 2009. So I'm going to spend more time in doing corrections today, I think. All right, so 2009. As of 2017, okay, but prior to that, Quantum GIS was renamed to QGIS. Just a new name is easier than saying Quantum GIS. So people know it now as QGIS. It is available for multiple operating systems. So you have Mac, Linux, Unix, Windows, and also on Android. It is available on Android they have a QField app that you can use, which is great. Perhaps we should do a webinar one day on that. QGIS can also be used as a user interface to GRASS. GRASS is, I think, the first or one of the first, I would say perhaps the first remote sensing software, open source software. It has been available for many years, long before, if not mistaken, long before QGIS. But not only for GRASS, it's also graphic user interface for some other products. I will show you that. So you have really a long list of processing software that you can use within QGIS. All right. So QGIS is maintained by volunteer developers who regularly release updates and bug fixes. As of 2012, developers have translated QGIS into 48 languages. So it is used internationally in academic and professional environments. Okay, now we are getting we're going to talk more about the QGIS interface. I will be showing a few slides and then showing you also the QGIS interface. But before that, I'm going to jump into my OSGeo Live. So this is the OSGeo Live. OSGeo Live comes pre-installed with many products. If I click on the start button for Linux, for the Ubuntu, I click on geospatial, and then geospatial, you have many products here. What I'm going to look for is desktop GIS. There are a few products here, and I'm going to go for QGIS desktop. I've installed this about 3 weeks ago. That was 3 weeks, right? No. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And good. So this is the version that I have. The reason why I want to show you here. Okay, let me just maximize my window. I hope it works well with Zoom. Is it okay? On your side, you can see it. Okay. All right. So I have the full screen for Ubuntu, OSGeo Live. The reason why I want to show you this is because I want to show you the interface as it is when you install Quantum GIS or QGIS, sorry. I won't call it Quantum GIS anymore. So this is how it looks like. What you have is a list of the projects that you have been working on. Here you have a list of news, okay, and templates as well. If I can close this. All right. I can just resize the way I want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on choosing a new project. So this is our interface. This is how it looks like. I'll go back to my slides. Let's explain the interface. So an overview of QGIS interface. We will explore the QGIS user interface so that you are familiar with the menus, toolbars, map canvas, and layer lists that form the basic structure of the interface. And then we are going to understand the basics of QGIS user interface as well. So basically, This is a bit small, but I will go back to the to our interface and explain what is all this. So number one here, what you have is the layer list and the browser panel. So these are panels where you can put your layer list and also the browser panel. I will show you what is that. Number two is you have the toolbars. These are the toolbars. Okay. At the top here, these are the menus. I call it the menu bar. The most important part is that you know that this is called the map canvas. The map canvas is like when you paint, when you do some painting. So since, you know, creating maps is art, so that is a map canvas. Number four, at the bottom here, you have the status bar. So the status shows you a couple of things like what is your scale, which coordinate systems you're using, and also a few other details. When you run something, sometimes the information is written here at the status bar. Number five, you have the sidebar where you have some additional tools. And number six, which is the locator bar. All right, let's look at it again from the QGIS perspective rather than the slide. Where is my Ubuntu? There you go. So this is the layers. These are the layers. The layer panel, sorry. This is the browser. Let me show you something. I hope that the internet is working on the Ubuntu virtual machine. Let's take a look. If I put in an OpenStreetMap, okay, it's working, great. So what I'll do is I will just zoom in. The more you zoom in, the more details you have. Okay. So this is Sri Kemangan. Our office should be somewhere here. Anyway, okay. So as you zoom in, you have more details. Now that I've put here the OpenStreet layer, if I look at the layer panel, I have an OpenStreet layer there. And then I can just switch it on, switch it off the way I want. Okay, there are a lot more exciting things available. I will show you that later on my machine's QGIS. So this is just to show you a few things. Let's go back to my machine now. Okay, we go back to the slides. So the browser panel. So the QGIS browser panel is a panel in QGIS that lets you easily navigate in your database, meaning that you can navigate through all the data that you have in your hard disk, right? You can have access to common vector files like SDShep file, MapInfo files, databases such as PostGIS, Oracle Spatial, SpatialLite, GeoPackage, or MySQL Spatial, and other layers such as WMS or WFS, which are connections, web connections. You can also view your GRASS data as well. So if you have saved the project to the browser panel solely will also give you quick access to all the layers stored in the same path of the project file and they're in the project home item. We see that later as well. The toolbars, so the file toolbar allow you to save, load, print, and start a new project. You can easily customize the interface to see only the tools you use most often, adding or removing toolbars as necessary via the settings toolbar menu. We're going to see that. if they are not visible in the toolbar, all of your tools will remain accessible via the menu. Okay, let's take a look. Now I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use my own QGIS. All right. So this is a small project that I have created that was 4 years ago during the last elections, just to, yeah, I won't go through the details. So what I have here, I have a few layers. I'm going to remove the OpenStreet layer, so I have only Malaysia, okay? And if I look at the browser here, okay, I have a project home. So these are some of my projects. I have this one GE12. So it will show me basically all the layers that are inside the layers. So in all the layers inside the project. So as you can see, the GE12, I have a lot of Excel files. I have a CSV file. And then I have another project called Malaysia. Sorry. I have another project called Sabah. So I have some maps, okay? And if I take this layer, for example, and I drag it here, okay, it doesn't work. I thought you would be getting the data from the other project. That means that, okay, all right, never mind. Let me see. I will continue. Pardon me. So other things that you can add is all sorts of data. As I mentioned earlier, you have like GeoPackage, SpatialLite, PostgreSQL, SAP HANA, MySQL, etc., Oracle, GeoNode, QField Cloud. Okay, I have never used this before. I will look into it. And most importantly, you have all these kind of web layers that you can add in. So if I can add Bing Virtual Earth, I can add a dark map. We go through this one by one. I have Google Satellite, Google Maps. Yeah, let's see how these layers look like. So these are all layers, web layers, basically. So if I want to show the map of Malaysia, for example, I need to drag this at the bottom because it draws the maps from bottom to top. I can add the points here. I can add the boundaries. These are the same, I guess. Okay, so I can just zoom in. Okay, let me change the background map. I'm going to use the dark map. Okay, there's nothing on the dark map. Google Map, there's the Google Map, so I just drag it down. So all my layers are on the top of the base map. Let's say if I want to change the color of the boundaries, it's very simple. I will just have to double click here. And hang on, sorry, the window opened on another screen. So this is the layer properties. I can just change the color to something maybe purplish. Apply, and there you go. All right. So you can do a lot with how to call it, with QGIS. You can change the colors, the size of the dots if you want to. I'm not going to change the size of the dots, or I'll just change the color to something else, something orange. Apply, and there you go. Okay, All right. So this is very basic. This is very basic. We go back to the interface again. These are the menus. As you can see here, I have a lot of buttons because I've been installing a lot of extensions, or not extensions, a lot of plugins. So they all come with their own icons. So if I go to project, this is where I can save my project. I can create a new project. Okay. So you have seen the browser already. You can browse through any data that you have and then load it into your canvas. These are tools where you can, this is used to load vector layers. The vector layers will open, you have to make a selection. Do you want to open a file? Is it a directory? Is it a database? Is it an HTTP protocol? So if I go for file, I choose my file. We are not going to do that now, but just to show you the extensive list of, let me move the window a bit. There's an extensive list of formats that we can load. All right, we are going to see that later on when we are going to load data. All right. So the use of the layer panel is to on, off layers, and also to modify. If I put instead of votes, I put here, this is small letters. I just select and then press on F2 on my keyboard, and then I just put votes, press enter. All right. Here, I'm going to change this to administrative boundaries. All right. And yeah, I can change anything I want. Let's look at other things. So here at the bottom here, you have EPSG4326. So what happens is that I have set the canvas coordinate system to EPSG4326, and anything that is not in EPSG4326 will be automatically drawn into EPSG4326, not converted, but it will be drawn to be able to overlap as a single coordinate system, right? This is a rotation. If you want to do a rotation, I'll put here 90, okay, or 85. Okay, just put this. Okay, maximum is 50, I think. Okay. All right. Put it back to 0 or 360. Magnifier, I can use the magnifier if I want to. I'm not going to use that for now. And the scale, let's say sometimes you want to view your data at a specific scale, 50,000, and then I lock it. So, sorry, yeah. I just put it at 50,000. I can change the scale to, let's say, 250,000. That was 500,000, sorry. Okay. And you can see here the coordinates. See the coordinates. This is the coordinates of the cursor, where is the location of the cursor on the map canvas. All right. So these are the basic things that you need to know. From there, you have other buttons here. One is, let's say, to create a new one, to open project, to save. Most important, this is to pan. If you want to pan, you can zoom in or zoom out. Okay, zoom in, zoom out. You can zoom to the full extent of your data, all the layers or the selected layers. For example, if I have, if I want to zoom to my data, what I have to do is just, if I have a layer like votes, I can zoom to the layer by right-clicking, then zoom to layer. So it will zoom to the extent of the layer, right? So something important that you need to know is that you have access to the information just by clicking on Open Attribute Table. And you have a table with all the details here. Okay. So how did I get this? I got the names and then I geocoded all the locations and converted that into a single shapefile. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our PowerPoint slides just to make sure that I did not forget anything. So we have spoken about the map canvas, the status bar. So the map canvas can interact with the visible layer, zoom in, zoom out. Then the sidebar shows you information about the current map. Then allow you to adjust the map scale, the map rotation, and see the mouse cursor coordinates on the map. Okay. So within this bar, you can access to almost, hang on a second, sorry. I just saw something which is not, sorry about that. Okay. So within this bar, you can access the almost all the objects of QGIS layers, so layer features, algorithms, spatial bookmarks, etc., etc. Before I get into this example of creating a base map using OSM data, okay, let's go back to the interface, something which is not listed. So if I click on processing, and then I have toolbox, because at the end of the day, we will be not only creating data, but we are going to process data as well. So you can see that using QGIS, not only you can use all these algorithms or processing tools to process your data, but you can use from third-party processing tools such as GDAL, all right, GRASS, HQGIS, I'm not really sure. I have not really used that much. It's just a plug-in. And Saga. So all these have their own processing tools that you can use and transform your layers. So for example, if I have, there's a processing tool called building polygons, meaning that you have lines and then you want to convert that into polygons. So if I want to do that, for example, I just have to type polygon. But it depends. So you have extract. So all these are the tools from different packages that can do something related to polygons. But what we want to do is instead of building polygons, sometimes they call that area builder or building areas. I put here area. Okay. All right, so that is polygon builder. So building polygons, I can't see that. So I'll give you another example, like clipping data. To clip data, so you have the tool which is available in different packages. So like clip points with polygons, which is from Saga, or you can just use the clip tool, or in GDAL you have raster by extent, so you can just clip in your rasters. You can clip rasters in here with Saga, so you can check which tool is the best, which one is faster, which one can be very helpful to you. What I can show you here, for example, I have clipping. I just double click. So we tell you which layer do you want to clip, and then you will have the layers, and then clip with which layer. Let's say I will clip with this layer, and then I can set, do I want to create an output file or just a temporary layer? We're going to see the temporary layers later on. So I'm not, never mind, I just run this, but it doesn't make sense to clip because all the points are inside the area anyway. All right. So I will close this processing toolbar. And we're going to talk about one plugin, which is to download data from OSM. OSM is the OpenStreetMap. All right, so plugins are all available here. You click on plugins, manage and install plugins. Okay, and the window opens somewhere else. So you just type in OSM. Okay, and then you have this plugin called Quick OSM. All right. So Quick OSM, you can see the logo here, the icon, sorry. This is the icon for Quick OSM. And then you just click on install here because it's installed on my side, so I don't need to reinstall it. So once I click install, I will have this button here that will appear. So I just click on the button, and I will have the Quick OSM window that will appear. So what is this Quick OSM about? It allows you to download data, existing data from the OSM database based on certain criteria, search criteria. So let's just zoom in to okay, let's zoom into KL. Okay. Just a second, let me check out something. Okay. I don't have the KL boundary here. So I will remove the administrative boundaries or of the administrative boundaries. And I'm going to remove the Google Maps and use the OpenStreetMaps instead. Let me show you something else. Instead of putting the OpenStreetMaps, I'm going to put something different. Let me remove this. I remove the layer. Okay, it's not deleted from your hard disk. It's just removed from the map. So I have this called traffic flow, which is from here.com. Right? It shows you the live traffic, which you can use in OpenStreetMap. Let's see, I have here traffic. So this is the same, but it shows you a background map as well. So I'm going to remove the traffic flow map or just switch it off. There you go. So let's go back to our extension, the Quick OSM extension. So what I will do is if I click here, I have a whole list of layers that I can extract from the OSM. You can take a look at all this at your own time. You can just download QGIS. It is free, and you can also download this free extension. OSM data is free as well. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type, let's see, maybe land use. Okay, we have land use. So for land use, I'm going to choose all the land use data. And here, I'm going to select the data to be downloaded. You can download everything, but it's really a lot. I just use the layer extent. What does that mean? This means that it will download only the data which is inside my map canvas. All right. So once I've done that, I have administrative boundaries. Sorry, these are the layers that I have. So now, once I've done all this, let's give it a try, and then I'm going to run the query. So it's searching for the data. This is online. This is from the cloud, yeah? Because the area chosen is quite big, so yeah, the download time can be a little bit overpass time. I'll try again later on similar or smaller query. You see, saying that it's too, the area is too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in further. Okay, and try it again. I'm going to do the same query. So I type land use. Oops, land use. There you go. All the values in canvas extent. Run the query. There you go. So now I have downloaded the data within the previous map extents. So there it is. I have, let me remove the background map and the points. So what I have is, pardon me, I remove the polygons. I still have points. So this is land use points. And there is one, one polyline. I'm not sure what is that. To check it out, I can just use this. And I have there, it says, it's a barrier. I'm not really sure what is it. Anyway, we don't need it. What I'm interested in is more the land use. So let's take a look at what is inside the land use. I use the open attribute, I open the attribute table. And here inside land use, I have different type of land use. So what we will do is, let's do something nicer. I'm going to change the symbology and create something else. But before we do so, I want to zoom in here. Can you see this button? This button means that the data is temporary, okay? And it is not saved. It is just temporary data. So what we will do is, I'm going to right-click first and save it. So I click on Export, Save Feature As. I use the SD shapefile, is good. I'm going to save this inside webinars. Okay, then I will create a new folder, which I will call data. Open this, and then file name will be and use 002, 002, and then I will save my data. I click OK. All right, so this is my data, and I can remove these 3 temporary layers. I don't need them. Okay. Now let's put a nicer symbology. So instead of this brown color, I'm going to use categorized, meaning by category. And then I will choose the field where I want to categorize the data from. So I'm going to use the field land use. I will classify. So I click on apply. And there you go. This looks nicer, but bear in mind that this is just for demo purposes. So, you know, the colors may not be following the standards, where for sure they are not following the standards. You need to check there are some specific standards based on the existing land use type. So let's bring back our backdrop map. I'll put the administrative boundaries. Okay, and then I just put our background maps, OpenStreet. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, and what I can do is I can just double click to get the layer property dialog box. And inside here, click on layer rendering, and I'm going to make it transparent. All right. So this looks a lot nicer. All right. So what we have learned is, besides some of the main components of the interface, we have learned how we can get some data, how to add the layers inside our map. And from there, let's see what else we have. Let's continue very quickly. So I've shown you all this, how to select the data, open the data, etc. We have seen this. Let me just make it bigger. Okay, I've shown you how to get the data from OpenStreetMap. There's a background map. Okay, how to go to the plugins, install the plugin. We have seen how to install the QuickOSM plugin. Okay, select the canvas extent, meaning that we are not downloading the entire database of OSM. Okay, we have created, we didn't do, yeah, we have done the query. This dialog box may be a bit different. Okay, we have chosen the land use for our area. We have converted the temporary data. We call that a scratch layer, temporary data, and converted it to a shapefile, which we have loaded automatically. After conversion, then we clicked OK, and we had our layer there. Okay, so you can choose other layers as well, like natural water, waterways, and all to build your own map. So this is very useful when you need to create a map quickly with land use and have a better idea of what is on the ground. We could have saved the data into geo package, but I've chosen as the shapefile. Geo package is something similar to Esri geodatabase, but this is like an open format anybody can use. But even Esri personal geodatabase, anybody can read and write to a certain extent. So QGIS can read the data as well. All right. You can repeat, as I say, the process to download any other data that you want to download. Okay. This is just to show different other formats like SQLite and all, but we are not going to go through all these details. Perhaps what I'm going to show you, so after you have your map done, So I've shown you also how to add layers. How to add your layers is, well, I've not shown you exactly how to do it. Just you have two ways. One way is through the browser panel. The other way is just by clicking on the button to add vectors. Okay. We have seen that also. Any other things I wanted to show you before we get into the end of this demo. All right, hovering over the layer will give you some basic information about the layer name, type, geometry, and so on. But let me show you how you can prepare a map for printing. What I'll do is I'm going to create an empty, let's see, I'm going to add one slide here. I'm going to delete this. Okay. I will go back to QGIS. All right. So you have what we call a new print layout. I will call it land use. Okay. And my print layout opens somewhere else. Hang on, let me get it here in the main window. So this is a map, basically. So what I need to do is I need to add my map. This is the body of the map, sorry. Add item, add map. So it's rendering the map that we have created just now. Okay, I can add other items. I can add a label. And then I will just, sorry, item properties, then just add land use map for which is 22002. And then I can change the size, of course. Right, never mind. Font. I can add. I'm just going to add a legend, and then we do another session. Sorry, a more detailed session on this. We have something. Yeah, we are going to do. So this shows all the items in the legend. So what I can do is I can just remove the items I don't need if I want to, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this. So what I will do is I'm going to take the map, just copy the map, put it into my PowerPoint slides. Okay, hang on a second. Copy. Okay, doesn't paste. I'm not really sure why, but I will do that. I will do a more extensive webinar on this creating maps. I can, of course, export the map as an image, and then I can just project. I can just save as or export it as an image. Export map to image. I can just save it and then add it into my file. So I just webinars and put it into my PowerPoint. Create a new folder, which I will call images. save. And of course, I should be able to find it. Webinars. Then I have images. I just drag it and drop it into my PowerPoint. Okay, there it is. Well, I mean, for free software, you can really do a lot of things. You don't have to pay for licenses. You have a lot of support and training available on the web. I think I have spoken a bit too long. Farida, can you take over a bit? Is there any questions on the chat box?
Yes, Mr. Ellis. So we already dragged our session to almost 1 hour. So let's have a quick, So let's have a quick Q&A. Let me check first on the chat box if we got the question or not. So as I can see here, the question is come from Mr. Amirul. The first one, I'm not sure whether it's a question or just to express his disappointment on toolbox, QGIS toolbox. But for the rest, I think this one, Mr. Amirul asked about 4 questions. The first one is how to make a grid overlay using QGIS. The second one, can or not QGIS connect with ArcGIS Enterprise? The third one, how to connect PostGIS with QGIS? And the fourth one, how to create 3D map using any software, ArcGIS software. Do you get it?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Amirul. So the first question you asked is that you said the processing toolbox is not there. This is something we need to, okay. Let me remove what we don't need. To access the processing toolbox, you click on processing, and then you have toolbox. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, Askin has already answered that, or you can use the Control Alternate T. But okay, the easiest way is to go to processing and then toolbox. All right, how to make a grid overlay using QGIS. To do that, okay, you need to do that, I think, if not mistaken, through the composer, if not mistaken, the print layout. Sorry. You can, if I go to item properties, there is something here, the grids. So you can add the grids here. Okay. You can put all the details you want. So it is in here. Right, let me remove this first. Okay. Connect with ArcGIS Enterprise. I think at the SDE level, but I think there's no more support on that. Let me just check it out. So all the database, I don't have ArcGIS Enterprise. If I add this rasters, there is ArcGIS REST, but that is web. Let me double check. I think I have seen something in the past, but I never used that. Let me Amirul, if you can just provide your email address, I will post the answer on my GIS group on Facebook. Is it okay? Will. So question number 3, how to connect PostGIS with the QGIS. Okay, PostGIS is here. You have, usually, if not mistaken, you have to use this. Then you can connect Postgres SQL. Click on connect. Okay, so this is because it's all, I have this preset on my machine. So you have, for example, all this data. All these are layers from PostGIS. And then I click on add. Then I close. So this is all from PostGIS. So you click on Postgres. You need to create a database connection first, right? And then you'll be able to load any data that you want. So this is from PostGIS. Okay. Question number 4, how to create 3D map using any software? I don't get it. Do you mean the data from ArcGIS or? Okay, here you can create actually 3D maps, but creating 3D maps is more like viewing the maps in 3D. You just go to view, 3D map view. You can create a new map view, but I don't have 3D data here, so I cannot do that. 3D view currently does not support unprojected coordinate systems. I need to change the coordinate systems as well. But definitely you can do that just by clicking on view, and then you have 3D map view. Okay. Any other questions? I don't get your question. 3D map for I'm not really sure because you're talking about ArcGIS, so I'm not really familiar with ArcGIS. I used it a long time ago, but no. Maybe you want to talk? Amirul, you can ask the question if you want. Okay, never mind. If you, or you can just email us the questions and the question, and then we reply to you. We can give you a phone number as well. No problem. All right. Any other questions?
Anyone would like to ask other question for Mr. Elias? Oh, we have a question from Miss Nor Izati. So
Okay,
she
hotspot analysis. If you have a hotspot, meaning you have points, right? I gave an example the other day. Let's say if I open a new QGIS, just to show you. Let's say, is heat map okay for you? Okay, I will show you how to do that. It's very simple. I'm opening another window of QGIS. There you go. So this is an example that I've shown the other day. I will open the project. The rendering part of heat map takes a bit longer. Okay, so this is a heat map. As I explained, this is, if we look at the data, how it looks like. Okay, this is another interpretation of this heat map. So if I go back to the first heat map, it's actually points. So instead of a heat map, I'm going to change it to a single symbol. So what you have is points. So these are points. This is so the person that gave the data, they said they want to know these are all their clients. Okay, they just gave the address, and they wanted to know where is the best place to set a new warehouse. From here, what we did was we changed this points into of course they gave us the points, then we geocoded the addresses. From there, we just changed the symbology to a heat map, and this is the result. So this shows us the concentration of their clients within the Klang Valley. We can see, like, for example, that they have in this place and this place, they have a lot of clients, so maybe they can do a warehouse somewhere here in the middle, or no, let's say they currently have one warehouse here, and you can see that here on the Kajang side also they have quite a bit of clients, so they can put a warehouse somewhere in between the two areas. So to us, we just provide this to the clients. Then from there, they will be deciding where to put the new warehouse to stock their items. Yeah. So this is what do you call? They use e-commerce to sell in Klang Valley. So they already have something in this area, PJ, but they want to look at the best placement to put their clients here in between Shah Alam and Klang. All right. So here, what you do is, let's say you have your points. This is symbology. We are going to do a webinar on symbology as well. So you have single symbol. You have, instead of choosing that, we just use heat map. You need to edit the color ramp, for example, can add more in between, can add more shades usually, and then this shade, I would just put it transparent so it doesn't look ugly, not white. So from here, I can just change. Oops, sorry. From white, I will change to, there's no color somewhere. Okay. Okay, and then I apply. So this is a big, is black, and yes, looks a bit dirty, but this is the way how we create the heat map in QGIS. There are other ways, of course, but this is the technique that I use. All right, is it okay? All right, any other questions?
No, Mr. Elias, I think that's all for now.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming for this session. I hope that you enjoyed, and we will have another session coming up in 2 weeks' time. We are going to inform those who registered to our what do you call mail news, the newsletter. So we are going to advertise also on MyGIS. And thank you very much for coming, and see you soon then. Thank you.
And before that, Mr. Elias, we have a group photo for Wi-Fi.
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Sorry, everyone. So if you don't mind, maybe kindly turn your camera for a while. So we want to have our group photo with you. So for your info also, we will put the recorded webinar on our official website. So maybe please check it out later lah. Everyone is ready?
Hi everybody. Ada lagi?
Ada
Ini
lagi?
saja. Yang lain semua malu. Okay, we wait a bit more
Okay.
before we can do the. A few participants have already left, but it's okay. Right. So at the meantime, if you have any questions, you can ask on my GIS group. So that's where we put most of the questions. All right, and we'll be happy to answer the best we can. Okay. All right. So can we take the picture already? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let me check, make sure that is okay. Now develop the picture. All right. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us. We'll be happy to have you again on our next webinar. Thank you. Okay, Mirul, you can email me here first. 1 second. Huh? Can email here to sales@gis.fm. Sebab saya punya nama panjang, takut you lupa lah macam mana. So just sales@gis.fm and then I can just reply to you. All right. Hey, thank you everyone. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Anis. Thanks everybody. See you. Message.
Okay, thank you everyone. Hope to see you
Thank you.
again in next webinar.
Bye.